We live in the foothills between Denver and Colorado Springs. Well, not exactly in the foothills. 20 miles deep into the mountains. The nearest building to our house is 3 miles as the crow flies and about 12 miles by road. Look up the word remote in the dictionary and you will see a photo of our cabin. I don't know why all the houses in the mountains are called huts. This is a house, and a big one at that. Part of living this way is that you are much closer to nature. We walk along the trails and collect edible mushrooms, nuts, and berries as we walk. We means me, Landon, and Cheryl. She is my wife of 12 years. I'm proud to be this crazy amateur mushroom picker. I cook at our house and use almost everything I can find while walking in nature. The reason I walked alone today was to blow off some steam and think. My mind is a mess right now. I do not know what to do. Last night we had a conversation. Honey, we need to talk. I noticed a rare and deadly mushroom near a lingonberry bush. If it is what I think it is called destroying angel and is extremely toxic. Less than 30 grams can destroy the liver and negatively affect the kidneys. What makes it especially dangerous is that its early symptoms can easily be confused with diarrhea. If you do not treat even for 2 days, you will not recover and will die a very painful death. Unfortunately, people simply do not associate diarrhea with mushroom poisoning, and by the time they seek treatment, it is already too late. The destroying angel mushroom is pure white in color with a smooth stem and cap. It has a ring-shaped membrane near the top of the stalk and is slightly convex at the bottom of it. I spotted 3 of them, and each one was like a textbook example. I hurried home, found some latex gloves, and returned to collect the deadly beasts, which I placed in a small refrigerator. When we were okay, Cheryl harped on about loyalty and how her father had crippled her growing up. Her mother divorced him and turned the children against their father. My uncle divorced his wife, and it was as close to what Cheryl went through. Regardless, the thought of ever sharing Cheryl, intentionally or otherwise, disgusted me. We both made it clear to each other that infidelity is a relationship killer. While we were going on dates, we agreed that our sexual past was a thing of the past. Cheryl was too gifted in the art of pleasing me. I, although I was not a virgin, completely neglected, learning how to please a woman. I'm a much better person now, or at least that's what Cheryl made me believe. Cheryl is beautiful and slim. As soon as she graduated from school, she starred in a television commercial. But that was where her acting career ended. She is currently a project manager for an information systems and computer skills training company. She is quite active in the women in government movement. I'm just a corporate accountant. Boring, but pays quite well. From the very beginning, I was Mr. Geek. I knew deep down that if I had $1 for every woman who thought I was too crazy to date, sooner or later, they would all want to date me. I watched from the side how ladies strive for money. Luckily, Cheryl saw potential in me, and we are now enjoying our life together. There is more and more talk about having children. Darling, we need to talk. The inside of my skull kept pounding. As your life flashes before your eyes, you are overcome with unbearable sadness. Fortunately, things may not turn out so bad from then on. I sat down on one of the chairs at the kitchen counter. Cheryl had no tears and didn't even look like she was crying. Determination is the word I would use to describe her face. I'm already sitting. Come on. I know. We never talked about our sex life before we met. We agreed that all this was a thing of the past. I'm ashamed to admit that I wasn't just a good girl. When I was trying to start my acting career, I had to sleep with some of them in order to get into the TV commercials I was in. And why should I find out about this now? One of the agents with whom I had sex is trying to blackmail me. Not that she hadn't already caught my attention, but I sat up straight. How is he trying to blackmail you? I answered a call on my mobile phone from a number that was supposedly my mother's. The caller ID said it was her. It was only after I hung up that I realized it wasn't actually my mother's number. Anyway, this guy said he had a video of me ready to share. He knew what this mole on my inner thigh looked like. Not many people know about this, Landon. So he says that if I treat him very well, Once a month, he will not distribute this video. I was afraid of what was going to happen. What have you done since he contacted you? I told him to call me back tomorrow. I just spoke to him on the phone. What have I done? I am doing it now. I'm telling you. My heart was pounding in my chest. Inside, I was repeating, yes, yes, yes. Come here. We kissed and hugged. Did you know this was being recorded? I never had a clue. I don't know what kind of agent this could be. Should I contact the police? Wait. I suspect that if things don't go according to his plan, a video might emerge. Is there anything in this video that I don't approve of? Cheryl hung her head and the tears began to flow. I had sex with 2 guys in this video. Cheryl, in this situation, we need a good plan. I drank glasses one after another until I became so drunk that I could not continue my intrigues. The only thing we agreed on was that when he calls tomorrow, she will tell them that I want to see them when they are together. This was the furthest thing from the truth, but we agreed that we would have more time to put an end to this threat. I took the day off and went for a walk in nature. I returned with my small refrigerator filled with deadly angels. Cheryl returned from work. Today he called again. Did he agree for me to watch? Furthermore, he said that if my weakling husband wanted to learn something, he would be more than happy to oblige and show him. This asshole is a dead man. The who, how, when, and where are yet to be determined. Cheryl and I spent the evening narrowing down our choice of private investigator. After meeting this blackmailer, we want to know everything about him and where he lives. I don't think you're the only one he pulled this crap on. He probably has a room in his house where he keeps notes. We need to find a way to destroy this collection. Cheryl spoke with the detective and explained how we were planning the introductory meeting. Our intention was to give the detective a chance to work. Thinking about what I could do without going to jail, I came up with a plan. Finding these mushrooms was purely an accident. I usually took them to the Colorado Mycological Society, where a mushroom specialist would confirm their toxicity. Cheryl, when the blackmailer calls tomorrow, invites him to dinner on Friday night. We can take advantage of the picnic tables at the highway campground. There's a grill there so I can grill steaks. Trust me and don't ask questions. Cheryl asked me a question. What are you up to that's so bad? Believe me, just do it. Cheryl said it would take some convincing, but the blackmailer agreed to meet with us. He indicated that he would be accompanied by a bodyguard. I didn't care. It's been a long week waiting for Friday night. The detective was planning to use a drone to record cars heading towards the campsite. Once our blackmailer is isolated, he will follow them after they leave. Cheryl and I were waiting at the grill when a pickup truck pulled up. When we arrived, I started burning charcoal and it turned bright red. Some muscular carbon-based life form climbed out from the driver's side and stopped by the pickup. He pulled back his jacket to reveal a holstered pistol. A typical guy appeared on the passenger side. His sleek hair was pulled back into a ponytail that hung just below his collar. A goatee, an earring in one ear, a bulky watch, and gold chains completed his elegant look. Cheryl whispered, "This is Orlando." "Nice to see you again, Cheryl." His words were met with cold glances from both of us. "Take a seat. Can I get you a beer? How do you like your steak?" "Beer sounds good. Make mine medium rare with rare." "What are you doing now, Cheryl?" "Nothing interesting for you," she said, placing the jar in front of Orlando. "I chose this picnic table because of the little porcini mushrooms growing nearby. Would you like some mushrooms for your steak and salad? I see some mushrooms right next to your foot. Pull them out of the ground and give them to me." Orlando and Cheryl both gave me that "what the hell." Look, but Orlando leaned down and ripped off 5 of them. I bit off the head of one of them. Damn, these will do. I had great difficulty chewing and swallowing mushrooms as I pulled salad dressings and steaks out of the refrigerators. I put on latex gloves and diced 2 deadly angels. The third I put back in the bag along with most of Orlando's collected ones. Cooking does not reduce the toxicity of mushrooms. I grilled some angelfish for his steak. I mixed the rest into a salad intended for Orlando. I counted. Orlando got 4 ounces of mushrooms. I added a ton of salad dressing and steak sauce. After adding some crescent rolls, I served dinner. I whispered to Cheryl, "Don't eat anything from his plate." Orlando enjoyed our hospitality. "I thought you should come see me tonight, Cheryl." "Will not work. I will never go anywhere where you can videotape me again." "Nice try, asshole." "Well, then let's go to your place. My friend will have to watch too. You don't mind, do you?" I jumped up. "We're not going anywhere tonight. We're here to figure out when and where it's convenient for all of us." "Fine. Let's meet at one of those motels I saw along the highway. Why not tonight?" Cheryl replied. "Because I said so." I added, "I still need some time to get used to this idea. Let's meet there next Friday. I'll take the number myself." Cheryl gave me the "I'm going to kill you" look. Orlando used his bread to mop up any remaining juices for the steak. Damn, those mushrooms were good. He looked back and saw another bunch of mushrooms by the adjacent picnic bench. He picked them up on the way back to his truck. "See you next Friday." "If you refuse, you won't like the consequences, Cheryl. See you, weakling." After the pickup pulled out onto the road, Cheryl exploded. "What the hell is this? There's no way in hell I'm meeting him on a Friday night. He won't be there. There's no way he'll be there. Why do you think he won't be there? I figured you agreed to trust me. No questions asked." I shouldn't know, should I? I just smiled at her. In the morning, Orlando made himself a cup of coffee and swallowed 2-day-old donuts. He had spent the entire morning going through his collection of adult videos and trying to use social media to track down where some of those dumb bitches had gone. It was midday when the first attack of diarrhea occurred. The next one happened at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and by 5 in the evening, the pain became unbearable. The abdominal cramps were severe. On Sunday morning, his room stank. He had a headache. His stomach was still uneasy. He rinsed off in the shower. Orlando ordered pizza for lunch, but an hour after eating it, his stomach was so tight he considered going to the emergency room. The screwdrivers he absorbed kept him out of his misery until about 10 o'clock in the evening. He was running out of clean clothes. Leaning against the shower wall, he again considered going to the emergency room. Monday morning found Orlando in the fetal position on the floor in front of the bedroom bathroom. He was too weak to stand on his feet. When he tried to use his mobile phone, it slipped from his hands and slid under the bed. He couldn't get it. His cleaner found him unconscious Tuesday afternoon and called 911. The detective Cheryl hired was able to uncover a lot of information about Orlando, including where he lived. I kept checking nearby hospitals until I found Orlando. It was Tuesday evening. By Wednesday night, Orlando's house and its contents were reduced to a pile of ash. Arson was suspected. Half a dozen empty 5-gallon cans were a pretty good clue. A very nervous Cheryl just asked me, "Landon, today is Friday. What's wrong with Orlando?" "I told you he wouldn't be there. We can have a good lunch here." "What about his threat?" "Do not pay attention." Cheryl was just about to say something else when the doorbell rang. "Mr. Nelson?" Looking at his badge, behind his folded lapel so I could see, I said, "It's me. How can I help you, detective?" "We have reason to believe that Orlando Pierce ingested a poisonous mushroom. He said he collected a few when he met you at lunch a week ago. He picked a few mushrooms himself. I think I still have a few of them since we didn't use them all. Come in while I collect them." I found a refrigerator in the garage and gave it to the detective. "Hold it. How's Orlando?" "On life support. I doubt he'll make it to the weekend." Cheryl's eyes sparkled. "Let me know what else we can do to help, detective." "Have a good evening, guys." Cheryl watched until the detective's car disappeared from the mountain. "I do not want to know." "I don't want to know." That's what I heard when a naked Cheryl appeared before my eyes. For 3 hours, we made love. On Monday morning, when I asked what room Orlando was in, I was told he was no longer a patient. This idiot turned out to be weak. We heard back from the detective and the Colorado Mycological Society. Can you believe it, Cheryl? One of these mushrooms turned out to be the deadly angel. He killed Orlando, How lucky are we that we didn't eat any of them like Orlando. The detective also said someone set Orlando's house on fire while he was in the hospital. Let's talk about Orlando's series of failures. Cheryl didn't buy it. It was sweet to hear her repeat quietly, "I don't want to know anything." Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.